society deserve more. I will make sure I will promote you on campus, and same goes for sports. So guys, that's my answer basically. That's it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And Joseph, please.
In my opinion, I have a history in both sports and societies. Yes, I've worked very closely with societies, and I am currently the Society Federation Vice President. I don't believe societies need more funding. Why? Because societies has a subvention of an X amount of money, and at the moment, half the societies use this money. So why increase the money until the money has actually run out of the Societies Federation subvention? At the moment, I believe, coming from being an exec in both a sports club as well as an exec in both a society, as well as an exec in a society, I believe that yes, there is a bias towards sports, but I don't believe the bias is because of a funding. I believe that societies need to become more active and they need a bigger voice. And I believe that comes down to the societies raising their voice and becoming louder than the sports teams.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the next question for candidates for the position of Sports and Society is, through what means have you been able to find out what the pressing issues are for the sports and societies? And Sefian, if you could tackle that one firstly, please.
Hi guys, like I said before, I've talked to different societies, different sports on campus. I know societies need better help with room bookings, they need better help with getting support from the union, and most importantly, they need better help in getting sponsorship from around the community. And I want to work with that, I want to work with every single society and every single sport and make sure they get sponsorship. Same goes for sports, they need better equipment, they need better practice hours. Every sport is different. For example, American football, you need better equipment, but for example, badminton, you need better room bookings, better practice hours. So guys, I've spoken to the students, I've spoken to the societies, and I've spoken to the sports. So vote Sefian. I'm the best for this. I'm the best man for this position, guys.
Okay, thank you. And Joseph, please.
It's all well and good saying you speak to sports, you speak to societies, but where do you hear these problems? You hear these at the SF and AU councils. I host the Society Federation councils, so yes, societies do come to me with their problems, and yes, we try our utmost as a team, as a collective, to tackle these problems. Vote me in as your sports and societies officer. I'll continue to ensure that at these councils, problems are raised, and my Society Federation executive do our best to tackle these situations. In AU councils, yes, I am there as the American football secretary, and at these AU councils, we bring up our problems, we bring up our issues. I can only raise the issues from American football, but I hear other issues from other sports at these councils, and I aim with my AU executive to tackle these issues. Thank you.
Okay, and Sam, please.
Hi guys, my 4 years experience here at the SU has taught me a lot, and I've seen a hell of a lot of problems that arise from AU and SF. For my 4 years I've had numerous roles, especially to do with sports, so I know every single problem they face when it comes to equipment, when it comes to venues, and when it comes to funding. When it comes to societies, albeit I've been involved with sport a lot, but I do see what societies need. I've attended AU and SF, I've spoken to a lot of societies in the past few years. Not only when it comes to organising colours, when it comes to our role as AUVP, the links do interlink. To take some for example, we need a new prayer room. Considering the demographic of our campus, we need a new multi-faith prayer room, which is actually convenient for all our multi-faith worshippers, and isn't some sort of underused, out of date, and quite frankly disgraceful state of what's the word? Just, yeah, but so basically considering my 4 years here, I've seen everything when it comes from AU and SF. Experience counts for a hell of a lot. With experience comes knowledge, with knowledge comes your best candidates, so vote Buzz.
Okay, 1 minute. Okay. The next question is, what does the next year hold for the brand of Team Bradford? That's the brand of Team Bradford. Joseph, if we could take your answer firstly, please.
Many of my campaigners know that, yes, I have a 2-year plan, and in that 2-year plan, I have envisioned a bigger and better Team Bradford. Yes, I plan to push the Team Bradford incentive, and how do I do this? I plan to do this by pushing Team Bradford to both students, staff, as well as the wider community. I plan to ensure that Team Bradford is pushed in a way that all other societies and teams and members of our small public in Bradford come and support Team Bradford, be it sports matches, be it society events, and that's how I aim to push the Team Bradford brand.
Okay. Thank you. And Sam, please.
The future of Team Bradford, well, the future of Team Bradford looks incredible if you vote for me. Basically, Team Bradford will a branch out of the campus. We are too insular. We branch into the community, becomes productive partnerships and better sponsorship. Team Bradford needs not just be campus-based, it needs to be the wider community, the entirety of Bradford. Team Bradford needs to be sports, societies, and all our courses, academic reps, every single entity on this campus. But we need to branch out, we don't do it enough. Team Bradford, the future looks bright if you vote for Butters.
And Sefian, please.
The Team Bradford brand is only known within the university. Actually, only the minority of the students know the Team Bradford brand. I'm from Bradford, I've lived here all my life, and if you speak to anyone outside Bradford, they won't know what the university does, or they won't know nothing about Team Bradford. I want to make sure every single student in Bradford know about the university and know about the Team Bradford brand. I want to make sure Team Bradford is not just known in Bradford, but I want every single student around the UK to say, when you mention Team Bradford to them, they say, yes, I want to go to that university, yes, I want to be part of Team Bradford. I want Team Bradford to be up there in the ranks, whether it's sports or societies. Guys, Team Bradford means a lot to me. I'm a Bradford lad, and this university means so much to me. So guys, vote me, vote Sefian for sports societies.
Okay, the next question for candidates for Sports and Societies Officer. What plans do you have for the Woodhall playing fields? Sam, if you could go for that one firstly, please.
I'm not quite sure where to start, guys. I was president of men's football for 2 whole years, and we had a hell of a record of achievement. Woodhall affects a lot of clubs. It affects American football, it affects men's football and women's football. That's 3 big teams, 3 teams full of a lot of members who play for gym membership. They pay a lot of money for gym membership, and the fact that we haven't even got a decent grass pitch for them to play on is a disgrace. One of the first things I would do is I'll go in and I'll make sure, A, would find out where the insurance money came from when the Woodhall clubhouse burnt down. Why the university consumed it, we need to find out where that is, and make sure it comes back to the sports clubs when it comes to refunding a new pitch. It's an absolute disgrace that 3 of our large clubs aren't getting the benefit of a basic need. It's a grass pitch, guys, a grass pitch. So basically, for me, it's one of my core policies to find a remedy for it. Maybe to sell, sure, but as long as we have a remedy, and that's to get a new grass pitch.
Okay, and Sefian, please.
Hi guys, I've personally used Woodhall playing fields, and I've changed them, and it's a disgrace. It's like a bomb shelter over there if you haven't seen it. Guys, they pay £80,000, what I've heard, on Woodhall playing fields to be looked after. Guys, that money could be spent well if we rent out another place around Bradford, or build our own, which will cost roughly around £1.5 million, and I will work for that, guys. I will make sure I will not just work with the youth student union, but work with the university to get a better pitch for students, better pitch for the societies as well. So guys, I know how it's like, I know how it feels like, I know I want to make a change. So guys, yeah, that's from me, that's it.
Okay. And Joseph, please.
Like my opponents, I also use Woodhall, but I believe it's a place where not only sports use it, but it's a place where societies can use it as well. So if the sports are complaining, how can we sell it to societies? So I believe that, yes, we do need to rebrand Woodhall. However, I don't believe it should be something that should be scrapped. I believe it should be given to the sports to decide what we do with Woodhall. Whether we renovate Woodhall or take the money that we're stupidly putting into Woodhall to upkeep it and make a new, better, environmentally friendly and, yeah, place for sports to use.
Okay, thank you. The next question for candidates for Sports and Societies Officer. Society members have grown by 54% over the last 2 years. What are your targets for engaging societies and supporting growth and initiative? Sefian, if you could answer that one firstly, please.
Yeah, of course, societies are growing and growing every day, and that's the fantastic job William's been doing. But unfortunately, William's not running this year, and I want to continue what William's been doing. I want to continue for every single student to be involved with the societies. I want societies to be there to cater for their needs. I want to promote societies more and more, not just to the same faces we see every year, but to the diverse students, to the postgraduates, to the international students. I want to make sure societies are promoted everywhere in the university. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And Joseph, please.
Yes, societies are increasing, and I'd like to say that it is down to the huge work that Society Federation Executive put into this. Last year, societies were at a number of 1,000 plus. At the moment, societies are 3,300 up. And I believe that by pushing the Team Bradford incentive, we're allowing staff community and more students to be able to know what societies are available to them. There's 146 odd societies, and I believe that a lot of students don't know what the societies that are available to them. Funny enough, my motto is to engage and enrich, and to engage, I feel like all students need to be involved, and all students need to be aware that we have a number of societies, and at least one of them should tickle their fancy. If not, they should be aware that they are allowed to branch out and create their own society via Team Bradford. Thank you.
And Sam, please.
It's been often the case for the past few years that the SF and the Sports and Society officer has too often been the master. It needs to be the supporter for societies. We need to make sure societies feel welcome and they can feel supported. Yeah, don't get me wrong, we need to be disciplined at times. We need to make sure that when societies come for help, they're given it. They need to be part of the Team Bradford brand. Too much it's become a sport entity. It has. Bring them into the Team Bradford brand, and I keep saying this, collaborate and expose. We need to branch out the campus, get them into the community, and basically promote and be proud of the wealth of diversity that we have amongst our societies.
Okay, the next question. How would you rank our sports facilities? Poor, average, excellent? And what investments, if any, do you think are necessary? Joseph, if you could tackle that one firstly, please.
In general, I would classify our sports facilities an average, because there are places that are good, however there are places that are extremely poor. For example, Woodall, in my opinion, I think it's terrible, and it's a disgrace that that's where we bring other universities to come and play us. I don't think it's a place that we should be calling our home ground. It's not a place that we can show off to other places. And unfortunately, we had the muggers brought to us, and from what I've heard from the AU Council last night, the sports teams aren't too fond of the muggers. So in my opinion, like I said, I've got a 2-year plan, and as part of that 2-year plan, I believe that it's either we renovate Woodall or we get land, make it our own, and make something worth calling our home ground.
Okay, and Sam, please.
I think our sports facilities are pretty damn poor, to be honest with you. Thank you, Dan. One of my biggest things is that, and it really grates on me, why our sports facilities are not a proper home for our sports clubs. Why they're not banners, why is there not the club crest? That's what we need. We need opposition to come thinking, to feel intimidated, to feel worried about playing our Bradford teams. And I want our home teams to be proud and to be playing on our pitches and on our ice rink and our squash courts and our swimming pool. So yeah, they're poor, and we need to work on that. But also, what really needs to be reiterated at every AU council and to the AU exec is to make sure that our sports agenda is high on the priority. We need our Deputy Vice-Chancellor and our new Vice-Chancellor to know what our actual sports facilities are and why they're poor. If it's on the top of the agenda, change can happen. And with it being on top of the agenda, it can only happen with me. With me. Yes, so thank you. Make sure you thank.
And Sefian, please.
I would rank the sports facilities in this university really poor, guys. Look at Woodhall, look at Lacebridge Lane. I've missed personally several practice sessions in Lacebridge Lane because of the lack of the lack of fields we have or nothing in the University of Bradford. The students here deserve more from the university. You deserve better sports equipment. You deserve better fields. I want to work with the new Vice-Chancellor. I want to work with the university and make sure that the money is spent well with sports and societies. Why can't we be a sports and university? Why can't we be up there in the ranks, in bunks with other universities such as Loughborough? Why can't we why can't we play more sports? Why aren't the students involved with sports more and more? Guys, I want to make sure the students deserve more. I want to make sure the students have more. I want to work with the money creatively. I want to ask for a better budget from the university itself to have a better playing field for this university. That's all.
The next question for the candidates is, due to the diverse range of societies and their activities, the demand for your time will be heavy. How do you plan on using and managing your time for 105 societies? Sam, if you could go for that one firstly, please.
Well, through my experience as being president of the biggest sports club and then vice president of the AE for 2 years, that's 4 years experience, it's all about delegation and using your executive well. William's done that perfectly with his 2 execs, and that's how I would do it. I wouldn't be at every single meeting. I would use my execs. I would have a productive and enriching meeting where we could always discuss, keep in the loop, make sure everyone knows what's going on. So basically, it's about delegation, and who's your exec. That's what a proper leader does, and I'm a proper leader.
Okay, and Sefian, please.
To make sure I deal with societies fair and well, I will be here 5 days a week, 9 till 5, guys. If you walk in now, throughout the day, you won't find as many sabbaticals as there should be there. Guys, I want to be there 5 days a week, 9 till 5. I'm motivated for this role. I'm passionate, and this is my university, guys. This is our union. This is our university, and I'm not running for my own benefit. I'm running for the students, and I'm running to benefit the students and only the students. So, guys, I'm going to be in there in the office. Whether you text me, I'll reply. Whether it's an email, I will reply. Whether it's a call, I will reply. The students deserve a better sports societies officer. Thank you.
Okay, and Joseph, please.
I can only promise to be better than my opponents, and that means being here 7 days a week, being here until the time in which societies need me. Because I know, I work as SFV Vice President. I work very closely with societies. I know those societies are here later than 7, and that's why you see our current sports and societies here till midnight on occasions. And the way I plan on engaging with the 105 societies is to, like Sam said, delegate. Having a strong team behind you is what makes a great leader, and having a strong team and having a great leader and being a great leader consists of being passionate and having a competitive edge, as well as knowing your team inside out, and that's what I will do if you vote me your sports and societies officer.
Okay, thank you. Can I just remind everyone now that we won't be taking any more questions for the Sports and Societies position, as we've got more questions here than the ending of The Dark Knight Rises. So we're going to go through now with the next one. What are your biases, if any, and how do you plan to address them should you be in office next year? Sefian, could you tackle that one firstly, please?
Every single person is different. Everyone has different beliefs, everyone has different faith. But when I'm in the office, I will treat every single society and every single student on campus fairly and equally. That's what you deserve and that's what you want. I will keep my beliefs and my faith and whatever to a side. I want to treat every single society and student here fairly.
Okay, and Joseph, please.
Being a sports exec, being a society's exec, I believe there is no bias. I know the ins and outs of both being in a society and the ins and outs of being in a sports. I know what societies need, I know what sports need. So it's about finding a balance. When it comes to times like varsity, yes, sports will need more of my time, and that's time I'll be planning to give them. But I'll give them this time, ensuring that my society federation executives are given the time that I would have provided to societies when I'm not there. So it's about delegation, it's about time management, and it's about knowing. It's not even about being biased to one or another. Is about knowing when it's time to aid sports more or when it's time to aid societies more. Thank you.
Okay, and Sam, please.
Guys, this isn't a career step for me. I've been here 4 years, I care a hell of a lot about this union. So I'll be working for you guys, there'll be no bias, not at all. What I would want to say is that if there's a perceived bias, that's bad, and that's because how the union works. I know how the union works and the union knows me. That's why any bias, whether it comes from the AU, the SF exec or the officer itself, will be absolutely scrapped.
Okay. The next question comes from Rama. Don't forget you can send your questions in for future positions to studio@rama.co.uk or via the website. And it's how will you ensure that all new students feel they are welcome to join sports and societies, especially if they have confidence issues? And Joseph, could you go for that one firstly, please?
This is why my motto is to enrich and engage. My aim is to ensure that the Team Bradford initiative is pushed to everyone, staff, students, communities, freshers. You will find me in the middle at the pond presenting a Ram Extra show to the freshers, letting them know, yes, about the 105 societies that have, about all the sports teams that we have, and showing that, yes, they should feel welcome to everything that we have to offer at this university's union. And if you do feel unwelcome, the door at the union is open. My desk will be open. If you feel any way about a sport or society maltreating you, not making you feel welcome, come to me and I'll let you know that that's not the case. Speak to their executive and make sure that, yes, there's something for everyone at this university.
Okay, and Sam, please.
Guys, when it comes to having clubs and societies that are welcoming, it's all about the exec training. I'll make sure the exec training before each academic year will be so that every single exec member, be the secretary, treasurer, president, press officer, kit man, knew how to conduct themselves when it came to welcoming new people. Okay, basically I've been on the president of men's football, which is the biggest and the most diverse. So I know when it comes down to welcoming people of all different faiths, nationalities, I know what it's like. I know how to accommodate that. So I bring my experience in the exec training to make sure every single exec knew what they were doing.
Okay, and Sefian, please.
I want to focus on freshers and refreshers. I want to get every single student, every single new student on campus to come down to refreshers and come down to Freshers Week and get involved with the different societies and sports. I want to, even if the student is not confident, I will reach out to that student by myself and I will speak to them and I will learn from them what they want and what they need, and I will cater for their needs. Whether it's a new society, I will help them open a new society. I will decrease the number of 20 members to 10 or 15 because it's sometimes you find it too hard to have number of members for a society to be 20, and that's how I'm going to solve the problem of getting students involved with different societies and sports.
Okay, you're listening to Hustings 2003 Day 1 live in Student Central on Rama and via UBTV. Don't forget you can follow the elections on Twitter using hashtag Bradford Elections. We're currently asking questions to candidates for Sports and Societies Officer. So the next question is, how would you help societies get more involved with sporting activities? Sam, if you could tackle that one firstly, please.
This one's a big one. It's one of the biggest failures of the past off is that the gulf between sports and societies is far too large. That'd be one of my main campaigns to make sure we reduce that gulf. I mean, we've seen it slightly this year with more societies being included into intramural. That's a massive step and one I want to further increase. But another thing is to make sure that when our sports and societies are working together, they know they're under the Team Bradford brand. That's what I want to see. I want to see the Bradford University Musical Society do a varsity tune for the sports teams. Or maybe the sports team's going to attend a Brisbane event. Or maybe even the Vegetarian Society picking up some teas for a sports team. Collaboration is massive and it should be seen at this university. We've got such a wealth of diversity when it comes to both our sports and socks that needs to be championed, achieved, and we all need to be damn proud of it.
Okay, and Sefian, please.
When you mention sports and societies to any student, they see there's a big gap between each sports and societies. I want to close that gap. I want to bring the students together, work together. Whether you're in a different society or different sport, I want the students to come together. I want you to work together because this is your union. I want you to work together for the union and work together for both your societies and sports. Guys, sports need to link up with societies more, and same goes for societies need to link up for sports more. We see societies are very diverse, and same goes for sports, and you need to work together. You need to work together not just for yourself but for this university and for this union, and I will make sure that happens.
Okay, Joseph, please.
To be honest, we have been tackling this issue already by offering sports facility times to societies, and that's only the first step. The next step is to allow societies to interact with sports teams, and I plan to do this by making an exec page not separate for society execs, not separate for sports execs, but a page where execs from both sports and societies can come together and interact. A page where an exec from a sports could let every executive inside this university know, yes, we're doing this event, come down and watch. A page where society execs can let sports teams know, yes, we're doing this event, would you like to collaborate with us? Would you like to join in? Would you like to come and watch? And this comes all under the branch of Team Bradford. Yes, because there's an idea that Team Bradford goes more with sports, but no, I want societies to understand that, yes, they are part of the Team Bradford initiative as well. Thank you, and make sure you vote for me.
Okay, the next question for sports and society officers, would you help support e-varsity next year, and how? E-varsity is of course electronic varsity and not a Yorkshire version. Sefian, if you could start firstly, please.
I want to make sure what I've learned from varsity the past few years to put in and work with e-varsity. I want the students to help me, the SF and the execs on the societies and sports to help me do that. I can't do it all by myself. I need help from the students to make this happen, guys. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, Joseph, please.
To be honest, the Society Federation Executive have been trying to push the e-varsity already. This e-varsity has come up from the video gaming society, and I believe e-varsity can be as big as varsity. Why? Because it's something that all students can get involved with. It's not a few sports it's not a few games that no one knows or no one knows about, but it's games that are open to all. And I believe that the way we can push this on for further years is to put e-varsity executive on the Society Federation executive team, and I believe by doing so we'll be able to have an e-varsity to last longer and be as big as the sports varsity that we have at the moment.
And Sam, please.
I think e-varsity is an absolutely fantastic initiative by the VGS, and it really does go to show how sports and societies can collaborate for one belief, which is to win varsity. It kind of reiterates one of my biggest things, that's collaboration. And that's what I think it really does reflect. And I think massive hand goes to Nerys and their exec for actually implementing it and actually getting it off the ground. So yeah, basically, it just reflects collaboration. Sports and society to work together. If that means to improving varsity and making sure we can get more participants, so be it. Improve student experience. What more could you want?
Okay, the next question for candidates for Sports and Societies Officer is how are you going to get societies more involved in RAG, which is Raise and Give? Joseph, if you could tackle that one firstly, please.
Yeah, this is a big one, and one that we've been struggling to tackle for a long time, but all we can continue to do is push, and push. Let societies know that yes, they are involved in RAG. Let them know that yes, there is an incentive at the end of RAG. Let them know what the meaning of RAG is, and let them know why they are raising money for charities. Because at the moment it seems like yes, once RAG comes along, it's another time for sports to raise money and get their table at colours. But no, it's a time where societies can showcase themselves, and by using these showcases, raise money for RAG, as well as let the university and everyone know who they are and what they are about.
Okay, and Sam, please.
I think it's slightly unfair to assume that sports teams get involved in RAG just for their colours table, but we'll move on from that. I think RAG is massive. RAG needs to be pushed beyond belief. It's one of the biggest, most proudest weeks that we have at this campus. And it shouldn't be just left for a week. We need to push societies to raise RAG, raise for the cause throughout the academic year. The only way to do that is to put, as Joe said, is to push, but it's also to emphasise that every single SF council. The thing is, a lot of societies are busy raising for their own causes, and we have to respect that. The reason they exist is because they got to fund for their own causes. If that takes precedent, then then so be it. It's the reason for their existence. Albeit RAG is a great cause, but if sometimes you've got to respect a society's autonomy.
And Sefian, please.
Societies are diverse, guys, and they need to be approached by the Sports Societies officer. They need to be treated equally and need to be treated fairly. I will work with the Environmental Welfare Officer with RAG Week and get the sports and get the societies more involved, whether it's the smallest society or the biggest. I want to get them involved because it's a good cause, raise and give. I want them to get a colours table as well, not just for sports, but society as well, to work to win a table at Colours Ball. And most importantly, and like I said before, work with the Environmental Welfare Officer to achieve this goal.
Okay, those were the answers to questions there from Sports and Societies officers. Next question is, even though media areas aren't under you, how will you support them? And Sam, could you tackle that one firstly, please?
I keep saying it, guys, but it's all about collaboration. We need to make sure there's better, more productive partnerships between our sports and socks and our media areas. Some of our media teams are fantastic. We've got UBTV, the paper, Ramair. We've got an absolute wealth of experience when it comes to our media areas. So it's massive that these three entities all cooperate to make sure that all our sports societies are exposed across Bradford into the wider community. That way everyone can be proud of Bradford University.
And Sefian, please.
Please, can you repeat the question?
It is, yes, it's, you're not directly involved with media areas, but how will you support them?
Definitely, I will work with the Media and Ants officer, I will work with the media societies, I will work with Rama to support the media areas, I will work with the larger community in Bradford, I will work with work with the Capital FM, different radio stations, different media areas to make sure the media areas are covered in the University of Bradford.
And Joseph, please.
I believe it's all about liaising and working hard with other media areas. For example, I'm already on the show on Ramia. It's about utilising what you have at the moment. American football already promoted and publicised in the local newspaper, which is Telegraph and Argos. It's about using links that we have now, pushing them forward and finding new links in order to better publicity for both sports and societies, because I believe that not everyone knows what's available to them via be it sport or be it a society, and I believe that everyone should have the same choice and the same opportunity to know what is available to them from the university.
Okay, thank you very much. If you'd like to, of course, get involved with the media areas, the AGMs are next week. So if you'd like to get involved with cinema, paper, TV or radio, then come and see us here at the Union. Right, next question for candidates for Sports and Societies Officer. It seems all of you are very sports-based. What can you do or what have you done for societies? And Sefian, could you answer that one firstly, please?
Of course I'm sports-based. I play American football, but refers that's the only sport I do, but I'm involved with societies more. I'm the vice president of the biggest society on campus, which is the Islamic Society. And we've held the biggest events, we've got the biggest students to get involved with the society. And that's what I got to say to you. I'm the vice president of the biggest society, guys. I know societies more than anyone else.
Okay, and Joseph, please.
I wouldn't necessarily say I'm sports orientated because I've been the secretary of the American football team for only approximately 6 months. However, no one could say that they're really more involved in societies than I am. I've been the president of the ACS, I've been part of the fashion show, I've been part of Red Ribbon, I've been part of First Aid Society, I've been part of numerous societies. If I was to say them all, I'll go over my time limit. So I can't really say anyone knows society is better than me. I am your Society Federation Vice President at the moment. And I wouldn't necessarily say I come from a sports background, but my history and experience being American football secretary has allowed me to understand what sports clubs need and how to go about getting them. Thank you.
Okay, and Sam, please.
Guys, my background at this university is heavily sport, and I'm damn proud of that. I've won awards for that. I've also won a Only Life membership of the Bradford Students' Union. That's because I've been here for 4 years. I know how this place works. I've done colours for 2 years, and that's where I've met every single society that attends, and I know about them. I've met with their execs, I know their problems. I've attended SF Council, I've been involved in initiatives last year, including Amnesty. So just because I've got a heavy sports background doesn't mean I'm naive to the fact that I don't know what societies want. That'd be ludicrous. To me, there's not the gap between sports and societies is not as big that is perceived. Been here 4 years, I know that. I've got the experience, I've got the knowledge, I've got the passion.
Okay. The next question for Sports and Society Officer candidates: how have your current roles, helped you prepare for Sports and Societies Officer? Joseph, if you could tackle that one firstly, please.
I think all my roles come together as one in order to prepare me to be the Sports and Societies Officer. However, the role that aids me the most is my role as Society Federation Vice President. As in this role, I've been able to shadow the current Sports and Societies Officer as well as work alongside and liaise with the Athletics Union Vice President in order to understand and know how sports are run, as well as being Society Federation Vice President. I've been able to meet with a range of societies, if not all of them, and understand their problems, their needs, and how to go about fixing these needs.
Okay, and Sam, please.
Can you repeat the question, please, Phil?
Yes, just bear with me 2 seconds.
Sorry.
It is, how have your current roles helped you prepare for Sports and Societies Officer?
Okay, I've got four very intense years of experience here. I've been president of men's football for 2 years, where we won a prestigious Club of the Year award in my first year's presidency. And then I was 2 years of AU Vice President, which is Athletics Union Vice President. Those 4 years of heavy experience lead me to be the perfect candidate for this job. Albeit sport related, I have met many societies, and many of my roles have ensured that I've been involved in many of the society initiatives, so I've got a wealth of experience in both camps.
Okay, and Sefian, please.
My roles working with the union and the university vary, and they all help me to become the best sports societies officer. I won't be running if I don't know what I'm going to do. I won't be running if I'm not passionate. I won't be running if I'm not motivated for this role. Guys, this is our union and this is our university. I'm only running for this role because I know what to do. I know how to make a difference. I know how to make a change. And that's why I need you to vote Sefian.
Okay, Okay, you're currently listening to Hustings live in Student Central on Mama and via UBTV. If we have closed questions for this role, but you can of course get questions in for future roles coming up this evening. Also you can follow the event at #BradfordElections on Twitter. Next question for the candidates is, what do you think is the biggest problem facing societies going into the next year? Sam, if you could tackle that one firstly.
Guys, the biggest problem for society, I think, is the lack of funding from the university. The university subvention does not reflect the increase in membership that our societies have. That in itself is a disgrace, and I think the only way to give societies that support it needs is to make sure that they get funding that reflects the power they have, the memberships they have, and the experience that they can offer.
Okay, and Sefyan, please.
One problem is maintaining the society after its core members leave and graduate. I will make sure I will maintain the societies on campus. I will make sure by promoting the societies, by getting new members and training the exec more and more, the societies will maintain in this university and grow bigger. And also they need funding. That's a problem. I will make sure they get sponsorships. I know how to deal with sponsorship. I know the local businesses, and I also get sponsorship for our society. Our society gets over £3,000 of sponsorships every year, and I want to make sure every single society and every single sport on campus deserves sponsorships and deserves a better exec.
And Joseph, please.
I believe the biggest problem is the perceived or the perception that societies don't have as much of a voice as the sports do, and I believe that this can only be taken away if you vote me in. I believe I can push societies to have a bigger voice, push them to believe that yes, they are as important as the sports are in this university. Not to say that the sports are important, or to say I believe that's the case, but that's the perceived perception for most of the most students and societies at the moment. And I believe voting me in will voting me in will take away this perception.
Okay. Next question is, what do you know about student engagement? Sefyan, if you could tackle that firstly.
Student engagement, it's in the name, student engagement. I want to make sure students are engaged with the union. That's what I know. Students need to be engaged within the university and the union. What I know about this student engagement, I don't really know how to answer that question, because I will make sure students are engaged with this university and this union, and that's what I promise to you guys. Thank you.
Okay, and Joseph, please.
Student engagement comes from the day everyone's back at university, and I believe that the way we can engage with students the best is to tackle them at both freshers fair, refreshers fair, and yes, throughout the year, but I believe those are the biggest points, the biggest times we can tackle and bring people in and get them involved inside the union. My motto is to engage and enrich, and I believe that we can only engage with them by making sure everyone knows what the union has to offer them, and we can only do this by pushing this and putting this in their faces, letting everyone know and screaming Team Bradford to the rooftops.
Sam, please.
I know a hell of a lot about student engagement, but I also know what the problems are when it comes to this union and student engagement. I've experienced life here as a postgraduate and an undergraduate, and what really has come to the fore is that as an undergraduate, there's so much emphasis put on you to engage in sports and societies. As a postgraduate, that's not the case. It's as though the union assumes, because you're a postgraduate, you're only here for a year in some cases, that you're not bothered. That's wrong. I mean, I'm a postgraduate now and I'm still heavily involved. So as much as I know about the student engagement, the positive side, as being president of men's football and AUVP for 4 years, I also know the downturns and the way the student union doesn't work and how it doesn't enrich student engagement.
Okay, you're listening to answers to the questions to the candidates for Sports and Societies Officer. This is Hustings 2013 live in Student Central on Rama and on UBTV. The next question is, given that the needs of the biggest societies on campus are not met, what will you do to meet their needs, and how will you work with society execs to achieve this? Joseph, if you could answer that one firstly, please.
I believe that the needs of societies can only be known towards the Sports and Society Officer and his executive team if these needs are brought towards us. And the only way we can tackle these needs is if you bring them to our weekly society meetings, in which every society should be aware of and every society is welcome to come and attend. These meetings consist of the sports and societies officer, his executive team, the general manager, as well as administrator of the union. And bringing these problems and these needs to us will allow us to know what problems all societies are facing, as well as the bigger ones, the smaller ones, wherever you may be, and allow us to help you and aid you tackle these problems, not by yourselves, but knowing that you have our backing.
Okay, thank you. And Sam, please.
The way to make sure that this is the case is to make sure that the sports and society officer is the most approachable it can be. And I'm the most approachable candidate here, standing in front of you today. So that's the only way that big supporters, big societies that aren't getting their needs met, will make sure that this gets remedied.
Okay, and Sefian, please.
There are many societies that face many difficulties and the needs are not met. A few of the biggest societies here, one need is not met, which is the prayer room. The prayer room is going to be taken away, and there haven't been work on the new prayer room. I will make sure, by being a sports societies officer, I will not just meet the society's needs, but most of the students' needs in this university. Thank you.
Okay, the next question is, sports see a huge budget come its way. Are you performance driven or participation driven, given the expenditure figures for sports? Sam, could you go for that one firstly, please?
This has been quite a funny one between me and William. I've always been the case that when it comes to student engagement with sports, it's all about participation. Winning awards comes second when it comes to participation. It's all about student engagement and getting people involved. If that means that we win awards, great. If it means we win accolades and bucks, fantastic. But that's not the priority. The priority is getting people involved in the union, in our sports and societies. It's not about winning, it's about taking part.
And Sefian, please.
Yeah, it does seem like the sports do get a bigger budget, and they do, because they need a bigger budget more than societies. Societies have sponsorship. Societies has a budget that's enough for them. Sports deserve a bigger budget. They need a bigger budget for equipment, for better fields. But I will leave a bigger budget for sports, and that's my aim. Societies do have a budget. They can get sponsorships, but I will focus on sports. Thank you.
And Joseph, please.
I believe sports teams do have a bigger budget, and the budget's for a reason, because they pay for a lot more than societies do. However, societies do have a budget, and they also do have forums in which they can apply for more funding if need be. I believe that participation is as important as being competitive, because why have so much money if we're not going to be as competitive as other universities? I believe that one comes with the other. More participation means more people become involved in sports, means we have a variety of technical ability and passion, leading to winning awards as well as accolades.
Okay, thank you. The next question is, do we have too many societies, and how can we cope with the demand for storage from societies, or for society, sorry. Sefian, could you go for that firstly?
The university, the student union can never have too many societies. Every society that exists caters for every student's needs, whether he's from a different faith, different belief. I believe we need more societies, we need more sports, and that's why that is not a problem. Thank you.
And Joseph, please.
I don't believe we have too many societies. I believe we need, like Sefian said, we need more societies that can cater for every student that comes within our doors. I believe, yes, that there needs to be more storage for societies, because this student union is very small, and it becomes an issue when societies are having meetings and other societies are interrupting their meetings to get their equipment, and it becomes an issue when societies have nowhere to place their equipment. So I believe that we do need to find a place for societies to store their equipment. We do need to find a place to cater for societies, as sports will always have somewhere to place kit as well as things that they use for training. So I believe, yes, we do need to find storage for societies.
Okay, and Sam, please.
If there is a cohort of students that want to have a campaign, have an interest, have a hobby, then we need to be able to cater for them. As we can say, you can never, if there's a cohort of students that need something, then we need to provide a society for them. However, there needs to be a criteria to which that they can deserve privilege such as storage. They have to be seen to be active to be able to have the privilege such as storage. Otherwise, how can we have societies which are very active and yet are being hindered by society which isn't active? Maybe have only 3 or 4 members or something that isn't doing anything. Privilege such as storage needs to be accounted for societies which are active So basically, society, I'm not here, but if a society can show how it's participating, then it deserves a privilege like storage. However, if you have some societies which are trying to see themselves as a society and are not being active, then such privilege should be taken away from them.
Okay, thank you. Your bladders will be glad to know there are just 3 more questions to go, and then we'll be having a break before the next ones. The next question is, what do you consider as failures from the current office, and how do you plan on addressing these issues? Joseph, could you answer that firstly, please?
I couldn't necessarily pick out any failures, but I can only pick out things that need to be improved, and my main issue or area of improvement would be to, like I said, engage and enrich with the students, as well as remove the perception that sports are more important or are catered for more than the societies are.
Okay, and Sam, please.
Repeat the question, please, Phil, mate.
Yes, it's what do you consider as failures from the current office, and how do you plan on addressing these issues?
I've said before, the biggest failure of this, the office is not reducing the gulf of difference between sports and societies. We need to narrow that gulf, and also we need to branch out the campus into the local community, so both our sports and societies can basically not only be seen on campus, but in the wider Bradford and West Yorkshire community.
Okay, and Sefian, please.
The biggest failure is the lack of student engagement within sports and societies, and also engagement with the wider community. Those 2 are the biggest failures, and I want to make sure I will overcome them failures. Thank you.
Okay, and the penultimate question is, what plans, if any, do you have for disability sports? Sam, could you tackle that firstly?
When it comes to disability sport, we have to look at the fantastic example that's been made by our cycling club. What I'll do is to make sure that when it comes to our exec training, we would look at the template that cycling have made, and have implemented. Make sure that every club can put any sort of impetus into accommodating for disabled students. We shouldn't have any sort of discrimination against disabled students here on campus, and we need to look at what cycling have done and make sure that every other club can see how they can do it too.
Okay, and Sefian, please.
I want to make sure every single disabled student has a chance to get involved with every single sports and society on campus. I want to work with the disabled student officer to overcome the problems that disabled students are facing from the sports and societies. Thank you.
And Joseph, please.
I want to liaise with the disabled students officer, force training upon execs at executive training that happens at the beginning of the year, in order to allow them to understand and know how to tackle situations in which disabled students may come in and want to participate in their sport. Let them know how to go about this, as well as liaise with the cycling club and understand how they went about doing this as well.
Okay, thank you. So we've had lots of questions there to the Candidates for Sports and Societies officer, but as you would have heard with the first one, we're now going to get to the crucial crux of the matter, and what is your favourite pizza topping? So Sefian, if you'd like to step up and let us know your culinary favourite.
It's got to be chicken. Thank you.
And Joseph, we want to know what you like on your pizza.
Barbecue chicken.
It's going well for the chicken at the moment. Sam, will you complete a chicken sweep or not?
Down a bit better. No, is it only reduced to one ingredient?
Well, you could have one pizza, but I suppose whatever you want on it.
Wow, that's fun. Probably it's got for me. I don't like to discriminate against any sort of topping. I'm a fair kind of guy, but for me, it's got a big. I think that's the cheesiest thing I've ever said, so I'm going to go for just margarita and cheese.
Fair enough. And not a horse pizza among it. Right, those were the questions there for the Candidates for Sports and Societies officer. They were Sam Butterworth, Sefian Abdulmallah, and Joseph Howarday and Ron. Reopen nominations. We'll be now going for a summation speech, which will be 1 minute each, and we're doing that in reverse order. So Joseph, if you could step up, and your 1 minute closing speech for the position of Sports and Societies officer starts now.
To conclude, my history and experience in both sports and societies is rivaled by none. I've been an exec in both sports, I've been an exec in both societies. I believe that I have no bias towards one or the other, whereas my opponents may do. I believe that I believe that anything that society, both sports and societies want, I can offer. I believe my motto is to enrich and engage. I have a 2-year plan. I believe that I can enrich and engage. I believe that I can get more students involved. I believe I can get staff and the community involved. Like I said, pushing both sports and societies to engage will enable students to understand more about our union, feel more engaged with our union, understand more about our union, and therefore lead to their enrichment. Thank you, and vote Joseph Arodi.
That was the closing speech for candidate Joseph Awadeh for Sports and Society Officer. Next person to speak with their summation will be Sefian Abdul-Mullah. If you could take the mic, and your minute starts now.
Guys, I've been born and raised in Bradford. All my life I've been here, and this university, I've seen it change so much. As far back as the 90s, when I used to come here with my father when he studied masters and his PhD, and many family members and friends that have graduated from here. This university means to me more than any other student in this university. This university has been so close to my heart, and so is this union. Guys, I'm passionate about this role. I'm motivated, and I know I'm the best man for this role. I won't be running if I'm not passionate. I'm motivated, and I'm not running if I'm not going to work for the students. This student union, like I said, is for the students and no one else. So guys, that's why I need every single student on campus to vote Sefian #1 for Sports and Societies Officer. Thank you.
With the summation speech for candidate Sefian Abdul-Mullah, the last person to speak will be candidate Sam Butterworth, and your 1-minute summation speech starts now.
Hi guys, if you want to see more collaboration, more exposure of our sports and societies, and a reduction in the gulf between our sports and societies, then vote for me. If you want true knowledge, true passion, and true experience, then keep calm and vote Butters.
And that was the summation speech for candidate there, Sam Butterworth. So you've heard there for all the candidates for Sports and Societies Officer, there were Sam Butterworth, Sefian Abdul-Mullah and Joseph Awadeh, and of course Ron reopened nominations. Don't forget you can vote from midnight next Tuesday, that's the 12th till 11 PM on Thursday the 14th via ubuonline.co.uk/elections. You can also find a manifesto booklet there to download, or pick one up from Student Central. You'll be able to listen back to all the hustings via the website later this evening, and there are also hustings from 6 o'clock over the next 2 days. We'll be looking at the next positions. We're now going to take a 10-minute break, but we will be back after that with questions to the Black and Ethnic Minority Students Officer, the Disabled Students Officer, and the sabbatical position of Women's Officer. Keep listening here to Rama to UBTV, and we're back in roughly 10 minutes or thereabouts.